Use these top 5 tips, part 2, and you'll be able to win more gunfights in MW3 Ranked play. Let me demonstrate.
I can go and pretty boy.
Hello YouTube. Sorry that it's taken me longer than expected to make a part 2. I've just been busy making other content. I know a lot of you have been waiting, so here it is. Right guys, so for tip number 1, it's going to be use more movement. Movement is massive in this game, and if you're not using it, you're putting yourself at a disadvantage. With slide cancelling and other things being back, you're going to want to implement this into your game. No unnecessary stuff. One thing I do highly recommend that I suggested in my part 1 is to change your button layout, because it will make anything to do with movement a lot easier. So I'm going to give you a few options, one being stick and move. So instead of jumping with X or A if you're on Xbox, you're actually going to be using your right stick to jump, but you now use X or A to melee. Stick and move is great because you can jump shot without removing your thumbs from the analog sticks, which means you'll have more control in a gunfight, giving you an advantage. Next button layout option is tactical. Tactical swaps your right stick and circle, or B if you're on Xbox around, which makes it easier to drop shot, snake if you do it right, and with the return of slide cancelling, this makes it much easier as well. And for the third and final option, before I show you how to utilize your movement in game, I don't know many people that play this layout, but I heard it's quite good. Shout out to Joseph Bradley 7216 for actually making me aware of this button layout. It's L1 button jumper bumper tactical for PlayStation. I believe it will be LB button jumper tactical for Xbox. This layout is if stick and move and tactical had a baby. It allows you to jump and drop shot without taking your thumbs off the analog sticks. So if you can get used to it, it will be very rewarding. If you do find it hard mastering any of these options, you could always buy a PS5 Edge controller or any type of controller with paddles, Scuff for example, which allow you to do both. But if you don't want to spend any money, which is completely understandable, you could always try Claw. I actually played this and I think it's the best in my opinion. It's a free Scuff and it doesn't make you reliant on any controller. You can play on any pad and do it on any game. Anyway, without further ado, let's get into how this is all going to be utilized in game. Tip number 2, start slide and reload cancelling. So with them button layouts I provided, it should make it easier. So slide cancelling is pretty self-explanatory, it's just skipping the full slide animation, something that returned to this game. People use slide cancelling for getting around the map and also in gunfights. I'm going to show you how to use a bit of both and how to use it properly, then show a clip of it in a real ranked match. So a good way to use slide cancelling is, like I said before, getting around the map quicker, and also maybe you want to slide to cover if an enemy is putting you under pressure. So as you can see, I'm going to try and get the bot's attention, and I'm going to show you how to use a slide to kind of quickly get the cover. So as I'm being shot at here, I quickly slid over to one of the pillars. So another example. Whereas if I'd done a normal sprint, the likelihood of me surviving would be much lower. You can also use slide cancelling for breaking cameras. I'm now going to show you how to do this. So when you're in a gunfight, let me find a bot. There's a bot just here. You could easily just slide past them like this, break their camera. You can also use slide cancelling, guys, for finessing, which is basically just being annoying, making it harder for the opponent to read you and also kill you. So I'm going to show you how to finesse right while slide cancelling. So you could do stuff like this. This makes it really hard for the enemy to hit you. You could also slide to cover like I mentioned before. Like slide in and out of cover. Next thing I want to talk about, guys, is reload cancelling. So to reload cancel, there's actually a few ways you can do this. One being, as you're reloading, you could quickly spam triangle triangle or YY if you're on Xbox. Just like that. Another way of cancelling a reload, you can actually sprint forward as you're reloading, so just like this. And one more way of doing it, you can do it with any sort of equipment. So say I'm shooting at this spot here, I need to reload. I can pull out a concussion and then just quickly click triangle or Y if you're on Xbox. So reload cancelling is good if you get caught off guard and you need to quickly pull your gun back up. So I'm going to show you a little example, guys. So I've got to make sure I don't have a full mag. I'm going to go up to an enemy. Say I have my pistol out. Start shooting my pistol. Dive here, quickly reload cancel. And kill him like that. Or if enemies catching me off guard or I'm reloading, I'll quickly cancel it. And then take them out just like that. Right guys, I'm now going to show you all of this in a real ranked match. As you can see from this clip, I used the slide cancel in a gunfight to break my opponent's camera, making it much more difficult for him to be able to react in the gunfight. I also forgot to mention that challenge someone or even re-challenge someone with the slide cancel can be very good, since you can catch them off guard, and because you're moving, it makes it harder for them to land their shots on you. Okay guys, tip number 3 is going to be start snaking and shouldering. So snaking and shouldering are two very basic movements but can be very effective if you do them right. Just like the others, I'm going to show you how they're used in a real game. First, I'm going to explain snaking. So for snaking, you want to find like a head glitch or any sort of cover. And to snake, all you want to do is you want to go prone and then sprint forward. So this is a basic snake, guys, just like this. Not this, or this. So this is like probably the very basic way. I'm going to show you like a more complicated way, which is better to do. So you can also snake like this, guys, but to do this is the exact same way, but move your left stick left and right at the same time. Trust me, on the enemy's POV, they won't be able to see you. I don't know if it's because of the input lag, but they just can't really see you. All they see is your little head just bobbing up and down. Like, it's crazy. It's like impossible to hit them as well. So to put this all into one, guys, just like I taught you earlier, instead of sprinting over to cover, slide cancel into cover, snake. And snaking is actually used for offense and defense. So to offensively snake, you want to kind of do like one pump and then shoot like that. So like that. That'd be snaking offensively. Defensively would just be like this. Like you're trying your best not to challenge. You might be like really low on health and you want to regen. But I sometimes like throw in a bit of both. So I might do this. Just so I'm not like so predictable. Like I like to switch it up. Right guys, I'm now going to explain to you what shouldering is. So shouldering is basically not exposing your whole body, and on the enemy's POV, the only thing that will be showing is your arm or your shoulder. So this would be shouldering. So shouldering, it can be good for finessing. It can also be good for getting info. So like say you wanted to peek a corner, instead of just exposing your whole body and then doing that, you could just throw like a little shoulder or a few shoulders and get good info. But anyway, I'm going to show you how this is all incorporated in a real ranked game now. So as you can see from this clip, I perfectly demonstrated how shouldering should be used. I used it to get info of my opponent without getting beamed. This is how you should be using shouldering. Even though I didn't get the kill while snaking, I still used it in a good way. I made it so the opponent that spotted me couldn't land any shots, so that I was full 150 health, and with the help of my teammates, I then rushed him. Tip number 4. Use crack aiming and start strafing. So crack aiming is just when you aim in and out of your sight really fast. It's good to do because you actually strafe faster when not in ADS, resets aim misses and weapon sway. I actually learnt this from a CDL pro called Dash. He uses this technique and he's the straightest shooter in the CDL. So if Mans is using this, you know it's going to be worth it. Right, I'm now going to kind of demonstrate some of this on the bots. So yeah, like I said before, to crack aim, you just aim in and out of your scope. You can do it with any weapons, but it's probably most popular with ARs. So I'm going to kind of show you how to do it on the bots. Instead of just slow peeking like a corner, like ADSing, maybe start like, maybe throw in some crack aims like that. Right, I'll show you some of the bots. The bot just so yeah, just like that. Instead of just like slow aiming around the corner. Guys, I'm going to speak about strafing. So to strafe, you just either go right or left. And the reason why strafing is really good if you play on controller, because The rotational aim assist is so strong now. So with your left stick, while moving it, you get massive slowdown instead of just standing still. Hold on, let me kind of show you this on the spot. So instead of standing still and moving your right stick, you don't really get any aim assist. So if you're moving your left stick, look how much rotational pull you get. It's crazy. So make sure you're always strafing in gunfights. It's also really good as well, like if you want to be like not as easy of a target when in a gunfight, like you're constantly moving, like you never want to be immobile in this game, like you never want to get in a gunfight and just stand still like this and not move. You want to always constantly be moving. So strafing does help out with this as well.
30 seconds left.
As you can see from this clip, guys, I strafe as I'm crack aiming. This is the best way to crack aim because if the enemy ends up walking into your line of sight, your aim assist would have already reset, taking advantage of it, making the gunfight a lot easier. I also throw in a little strafe, making it harder for them to hit me since I'm a moving target. Tip number 5. Ego challenge. An ego chow is just when you challenge someone at a disadvantage. It doesn't just mean if you're one shot and you chow. I'm going to show you an ego chow and how it's used in an actual game.
You didn't say plus 2.
So from this clip, you can see that I ego chowed my opponent because I was certainly at a disadvantage as he landed shots as I looked away that split second. He was also pre-aiming whilst lying prone, which made this challenge ridiculous. But it paid off with my confidence. I knew it was a good opportunity to chow him because he wouldn't think I would. Also, knowing that my teammate was there as well, he could have easily traded if I lost the gunfight. Anyway guys, if you found any of the tips helpful, don't forget to subscribe for more helpful tips. I wasn't going to make a part 3, but if we can break 100 likes on this video, I'd consider it YouTube. Also, if you feel like anything was missing, check out my part 1 if you haven't already. Putting it on screen for you guys now. And if you have any questions, don't be afraid to ask in the comments. See you guys in the next one.